determined. Okay. Alright, so let's pick up a left up last time before I get into it because of dinner. So, back in Super Sentai, talk about the Super Sentai Strongest Battle miniseries. So, we have these various Rangers brought to Planet Nemesis. You know, Witch Medora's home planet. And no mention of her at all. It's like, I'm watching this miniseries, I'm like, what the Zoo Rangers supposed to play a role here? And they just were just cut out for reasons per se. So of course we see the return of Yamato, aka Zao Eagle, first time since the Zoo Ranger Returns movie. We also see the return of Toku 5 Kaguya. By the time this came out, her last appearance was in the 10 years later movie. Though this special takes place prior to that 10 years later thing. Let's see. There is a return of Stinger. First time I've seen him since the crossover movie with Kyuranger. Kyuranger versus Lupa Ranger versus Panther Ranger. And we do see others throughout this whole thing. And then we break them down into teams. Our main team we focused on, the main 5-man team for this one, which is made up of 4 guys and 1 girl. Yep. Does that find that kind of weird? And also, it's a lot like the Showa era of Sentai, where it's basically mostly 4 guys and a woman. I mean, in the case of, like, Loop Range, Panther Range, at least they had 2 women part of that one. So, this is made up of Captain Marvelous, aka Gokai Red, Stinger, Q Orange, Kaguya, Toku 5, Yamato, Zao Eagle, which of course he does know as Stinger about his little tail he has. He might be a Zaomon, he is not. And that's the only reference you get of the Zaomons this entire miniseries. And we also return of, believe it or not, the Red Ninjanger. Yeah, he returns here. First time since his return movie. And that's interesting though. But by the way, in the case of Marvelous, like I mentioned, the last time he appeared was actually in the Zoo Ranger 2-parter. That was his first appearance part of this one. Everybody else, like 3 of them, in their own return movies. Stinger was in the first movie. So, and then, like, they're in this room that's covered. I'm not sure where this room is. It seems like their place, like there's like their quarters or something, and they just have conversations. So, and then we're introduced to other teams, and these other teams are some of the most bizarre lineups basically anybody ever seen. Now, that's basically our oddball team, the serious team, which Ketro is the only one known to be part of this team. Like, that we see him on screen. The serious team, made up of Go Say Blue, which no, we don't see him here. Go Pink, Matsuri Tomi from Go Go 5. Yeah, she's somehow here. This other actress is not. Mega Black and Bokan Pink. The Vigo team is interesting because we actually do see 2 of the Rangers here. We see them in episode 1. The Vigo team is made up of Go Green, Yellow Racer, Go on Red, Boken Silver, and Go on Yellow. Of this 5-person team, we only see 2, Sosuke and Iji. And yes, they brought back their actors. In the case of Boken Silver, this actually, this first episode which he appears in, the only appearance he makes this whole miniseries, this actually is his final ever Sentai appearance, because after this, he never returns. You're probably asking, when was the last time he appeared? Geki Ranger versus Bokenger. Yes, that was the last time he ever appeared. You're like, really? When the heck was that released? A while ago. Legendary team comprised. Okay, here we go. So, the obvious question is, like, how long ago was Bokenger versus Geki Ranger released? So, let's find out here. There is, of course, mention of the organization he works for. He just can't get contact with them. Yeah, he lost contact with them for reasons. Yeah, it's like we get mention of them because the whole barrier happening here. Yes. So, okay, here we go. So, the last time we saw him was back in 2008. You're like, really? Yeah. You're like, that is interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, and we do see briefly Zobon. Yeah, he briefly appears in here for a quick cameo. The legendary team comprised of Saya, aka Ginga Pink, which I actually saw her actors last year. Oh Yellow, Change Pegasus, yes, we do see him here. Gogo Black, and O Pink. Interesting, they threw in, like, if you look at this lineup here, it's like 3 girls and 1 woman, and 2 guys. And 2 of them from the same roster. You're like, that's interesting. Yeah, and like, if you look at this, you have 3 people from the 90s and 2 people from the 1980s. There is the Space Team, which is made up of Mega Pink, Change Phoenix, Ginga Red, Pink Flash, and Mega Silver. Which, if you're going to ask, do we see their actors here? No. No, we don't. As for the reason for it, I have no idea. The Cool Team, made up of Boken Black, Tabasa, basically Magi Yellow, Time Blue. Yes, they brought him here from the future. Karen Ranger, Kazu of the Heavily Time Star. Yes, a Die Ranger. And Mega Yellow. The Acrobat Team, comprised of Geki Blue, Ninja Red, Dyna Black, Shuriken Green, and Yellow Mask. Once again, well, this one is interesting. So, Geki Blue is a 2000s Sentai character. Same Geki Green. Yellow Mask and Dyna Black are from the 1980s. Ninja Red is from the 1990s. The Land, Sea, and Air Team. This one we actually do see 3 members in action. Gal Red, Vol Shark, and Yellow Lion. We do see Gal Red. We actually do see the actor come back here. First time we see him since the Gal Ranger tribute episode from Gokaiger. And this will be sadly one of his last. I think this is actually the actor's last time he plays as a character. But I appreciate the fact they brought the guy back. Val Shark, this is interesting for him because he never really did this in Sun Vulcan. He swam in the dirt like he's swimming in water. I guess because it's the 2010, so updated technology, which I thought was really cool. They did that. Yellow Lion, yeah, that is from Live Man. Yes, we have a Live Man here. Yep. And this will be his last appearance. Like a lot of these characters appear here, this is like their last appearance. There is the Swordsman team. This one we actually do see 2 members here. We see Black Knight, Val Eagle, Doggy Kruger. For the first time we see him since, get this, last time we saw him in person. And by the way, he's actually outside, so he actually appears as a recurring role in this miniseries. Where the last time we saw him was in the awesomeness that was Space Sheriff Gavin versus Deca Ranger. An absolute amazing movie. And that was his last appearance prior to this one. And of course, they do reference, when he shows up, he runs a stinger in the miniseries, they do reference the time that he met. Because basically, when he runs the stinger, he does mention, he did meet the key, we meet him a stinger. Like, oh, you're a Q Ranger. I met your team before. which he did that in Courage episode 18. And then he runs to Captain Marvelous, which they show a flashback to episode 2 of Gokaiger. Great the fact they did that for that character. Then he's taken out, but great to see the guy again. Plus, we get a chance to see him and Kage have a serious fight in, I think it was like episode 3, I think it was, but it was excellent. And you see him working with Shuriken Red, which, that is interesting, given the fact that Shuriken interferes after the Deca Ranger, which is funny. Here's a mixed match team. Archer team, comprised of Shuriken Blue, Yellow 4, oh, in case you're curious, so it's the second one. Yeah, this will be, well, and no, the actors has not returned for this. Nope. Hardly do. Yellow Turbo from Turbo Ranger. Blue Dolphin. Yes, we do see her. We don't see the actors. Pink Race. That's the art team. Refreshing team. Made up of Geki Yellow, O Blue, Magi Green, Boken Blue, and Red Turbo. Flying team. Which we don't see these guys here, surprisingly. But they're in the tournament. And here's basically 4 of them are Reds. Yes, 4 Reds. You're like, seriously? 4 Reds on one roster? Damn. And it's comprised of Magi Red, Red Vulcan, Red Hawk, Gosei Red, and cap it off with Gao Yellow. I guess because they all fly. Okay. Gunman team. Yeah, basically the gunman. Now, the line for this one is interesting. Gao Silver, this is mostly all a blue team. Yes, we do see Gao Silver, Blue Racer, Go On Blue, Blue Turbo, and Blue Buster. Yes, the guy who likes old man jokes, which they referenced, which that was in that one. Pink Warrior team, an entire pink roster. Comprised of Pink Mask, 5 Pink, Gosei Pink, Shuriken Pink, and Pink 5. Speed team comprised of Red Buster, Blue Flash, Tama Ranger, this is a Die Ranger, Blue Swallow from Jetman, and Blue Mask. Yes, so we have 2 from the 80s, yes, 2 from the 80s, at least 2 from 1990s, and 1 from 2010s. Yes, the Brain Team. And listen to this lineup. Dyna Red, Pink Turbo, Time Ring, Green, 5 Red, and Beat Buster. I wonder if these guys know the fact that Time Green is an alien. That would be something. Gil, this is where we have Zeb on here. Where this roster, oh yeah, we do see return of Gosei Knight. Yeah, he does briefly appear in this crossover. He doesn't speak, but yeah, it is him, which is interesting. They bring him here, and this will be his last ever appearance. You're like, huh? Who would have thunk? He appears in episode 2 of this miniseries. So we have, like I said, we Gosei Knight. Go On Gold, yes, we do see him. You see a suit, don't see the actor. King Ranger, Magi Shine, and Zybon. So of these 5 characters, the only we see on screen is Gosei Knight. We do see Go On Gold and Zybon. Now, Magi Shine, so we can't see the actor here because he's retired. Big Eater team. And yes. And there's a joke about Curry. Which is interesting, the fact they reference the whole thing with Curry. And this is basically like, oh, these are the Big Eaters. Comprised of Red Racer, Ninja Yellow, Vol Panther, Mega Red, and Giga Yellow. Now, yes, Mega Red is Big Eater. That's definitely true. Same with Vol Panther. And it's not surprising that Vol Panther's actor is not here. Because the man basically went to jail after the events of Sun Vulcan wrapped up because he actually became a criminal. Yes, he became a criminal. So basically, screw this guy basically for the crimes he committed. The character is fun. I like the character. It just the actor is basically like here's the thing. So apparently in 2013, roughly about 7 years prior to this thing, he apparently solicited a high school girl from, yes. So, this guy is the primary reason why we can't have any Sun Vulcan reunions. Because of him. But yet, we did bring back the second Vol Eagle for Gokaiger. And, of course, we also have Ginga Yellow. Yeah, of these ones, like Red Racer, I remember him being a big eater on that show. Ninja Yellow. Yeah, I remember him being eater on that one, so that's good on that one. Vol Panther. Mega Red, yes. Ginga Yellow. I don't remember him being a big eater. Scientist Team. Oh, by the way, in the case of the lineup here, which is interesting. So, Red Racer, 1990s. Ninja Yellow, 1990s. Mega Red, 1990s. Giga Yellow, 90s. Vol Panther is the only one here who is not from the 90s. He's actually from 1981. The Scientist Team is interesting because they actually have one person here from the 70s. Yes, because they have somebody from Jaka here. Scientist Team is comprised of Gogol Red, Red Flash, Clover King, Dyna Yellow, and Gold Blue. Yes, so we have 3 from the 80s. We have like almost this entire roster here from the 1980s. Well, actually, Clover King's from 1979, but Red Flash, Gogol Red, and Dyna Yellow, that's from the 1980s. Gold Blue is from the 1990s. Yes, 190s one. Extra Warrior Team, which I think I do remember seeing Go on Silver appear in this thing, but I don't remember the other ones who are here. And it's comprised, actually, the other ones appear and see them on screen. We have Geki Violet, Geki Chopper, yes, two from the same roster, second team do this. Killer Ranger, interesting though they probably can remember the actor. The character on the show on Die Ranger was a pervert. Wiz of Fire, yes, the father of the team that here. Go on Silver, interesting. Police Team. Oh, by the way, pretty much this whole roster Extra Warrior Team. Keep Rangers the only one here from the 90s. Everyone here is all 2000s. Yeah. Police Team. Miss America. Second one. Go Yellow. Time Pink. Heart Queen. Go on Black. Heart Queen's from 1970s. She's from Jaka. Miss America is from Battlefield J. Go Yellow is from Go 5. Time Pink. Time Ranger. Go on Black. Go Onger. Yes. So we have one from the 70s. One from the 80s. One from the 90s. And 2 from 2000s. Water Warrior Team. Mostly all blue. Pretty much this is another like all color, same color team. Still, it's more like light blue and dark blue. So Water Warrior is Ninja Blue, Blue 3, Dyna Blue, Gal Blue, and Magi Blue. Now, Magi Blue and Gal Blue are from the 2000s. Ninja Blue is from 1990s. I think Blue 3, I think that's from the 1980s. Yes, because it's in Bioman. And Dyna Blue's also 1980s as well. Curveball Team. And this is interesting for this one. We have VR Master, who was actually the father of the mentor from that show. Signal Man, Big One. That would be interesting if they brought back his actor, given the fact that Toku fans love this guy. Because Big One is also the original Blue Ranger from Go Ranger, and he's also the mentor in O Ranger. I wonder if basically if you got one of the people from his roster from the Go On team, from the O Ranger team, is like, Commander, what are you doing here? Is like, what are you talking about? I don't know who you are. That would be interesting to see because play the same actor. Shuriken Ninja Man. Yeah, this is interesting because we have like Signal Man, VR Master, Ninja Man, all from the 1990s. Big One is from 1979. And Shurikenja is the only from 2000s. Super Strong Team. Yellow Owl, Green Sai, Boken Yellow, Gal Black, Ginga Blue. We do see Ginga Blue in the thing. We don't see anyone else. Green Sai. Okay, yeah, he's from Live Man. Which, I think they pretty much include most of Live Man in this thing. I don't think we saw him here. So he's from the 80s. Yellow Owl, he is from Jetman. So yeah. So we have other ones here. We have two from 90s. That being Yellow Owl and Ginga Blue. Gal Black and Boken Yellow from 2000s. Green Sai is from the 80s. Leader Team. Battle Japan. Boken Red. O Red. Ninja White. And Gal Red. Of these ones, I think Ninja Red was seen. I think pretty much almost the whole team was seen, except for Battle Japan was not seen here. So one from the 70s. Let's see. Yeah, one from the 70s, and we have one from 2000s, and the other three from the 1980s. Frivolous Team, and this was comprised of Stag Buster, Green Racer, Go On Green, Mega Pink, and Shuriken Gold. Oh, excuse me, Magi Pink. Of the ones here, Green Racer from the 90s, Go On Green, Shuriken Gold, Magi Pink are from the 2000s, and Stag Buster is from the 2010s. Animal Lover Team, Go-Go Yellow, Battle Kenya. Yes, the first Kenji Oba character. Seshi Ranger, that's from Die Ranger. Yellow Buster, and Dyna Pink. Of these ones, Battle Kenya, 80s, same with Dyna Pink. Yellow Buster, 2010s. Seshi Ranger, 1980s. Go-Go Yellow, 80s. So we have, technically, yeah, we have, of this five-person team, 3 from the 80s. Interesting they did that. 3 from the 80s, 1 from the 90s, and 1 from 2010s. Sports Team. Gal White, Go-Go Pink, Spade Ace, Phi Blue, and Change Dragon. Yes, so, of these ones, Gal White is the only one from the 2000s here. Yes, Go-Go Pink and Change Dragon are from the 1980s. Spade Ace is from Jack Up. Phi Blue is Action 5 Man. It's the only 90s one here. And then we have the Black Warrior Team, comprised of Phi Black, Black Turbo, Black Bison, Gosei Black, and Black Mask. Pretty much mostly put for this lineup. I believe Black Turbo is from the... So we have... So Black Turbo, Black Bison, and Black Mask are all from the 1980s. Phi Black is from the 1990s. And Gosei Black is from 2010s. Yes. Martial Arts Team. Which, you might be asking, do any of these characters play on the screen? I think Rail Ranger does. He's from Dire Ranger, obviously. You have O-Reen, 5 Yellow, Rail Ranger, Time Red, and Red Mask. Yeah, 5 Yellow is actually from 5 Man, and that was from 1980s. So, basically, we have only one 80s, this one, that being Red Mask, and basically Rear Ranger, 5 Yellow, O Green, all from the 90s. Time Ranger is the only 2000 one here. International Team, comprised of Geki Red, Battle Cossack, this is the second one, not the original. The original one died in the original show. Ninja Black, Battle France, and Howl Ranger. Yeah, it's Pink Ranger from Die Ranger. Yes, of these ones, Battle France, Battle Cossack, both from the same team, Battle Fever J, from 1980s. Geki Red is actually from, like, basically he's from Geki Ranger, 2000, so he's from 2000s. Ninja Black, that's Jiraiya, 1980s. Same with Howl Ranger, which these two have interacted before in Super Sentai World Devil, the Silver Dream sequence. Support team comprised of Earther G6. Yeah, he's a support item from 5-Man. Colin, Mag, Peebo, and Horizon Dap. So you're thinking, who is Mag? You might ask. Mag is from Flashman. It's a robot that worked with them. Peebo's from Bioman. And Horizon Dap is from Car Ranger. And most everyone else here is listed as, like, we have other Rangers, that being, of course, the Geki Ranger, which doesn't appear here. The Go Rangers in Flash. We have Aka Ranger, that's being the original Ranger. We do see the full team here, which is really cool. And it's only a flashback. We see him give basically his Ranger key. Ninja Ranger, that was sort of flashback. Of course, we introduced the two characters here. And so, basically, in the case of Sosuke, like, this is his first appearance since I think this is just after the 10th anniversary movie that he appeared here. And after he appears in the opening episode, he does not appear again ever in Sentai, the actor, until he pops up in Boomerang over a decade. Basically, about 5 years later, I think it was. Yeah, about 5 years later, he appeared. So, we go to all these various teams. Gosek basically is just trying to find the strongest. We also have a sort of a side story here, aside from that stuff with the battle and everyone with Stinger. We introduced the Ryo Soldier Rangers. We introduced two of them here who were basically here for all 4 episodes. And that being Rasta Green and Rasta Black, who are brothers. And these characters will appear on Ryo Soldier. And basically, this is leading into Ryo Soldier, but there's actually a web series, and we hopefully get a chance to watch before I get to watch that one. So Stinger, after he does, by the way, Stinger does not do any major fighting here. Like, he does fight in like one battle here. Then he goes off to do some research. He tries to contact the Space Federation president. No contact with him. So he does research, where apparently that somebody's researching the Sentai teams, and then all of a sudden, this happens already in episode 2, and then we begin episode 3 where he's to research, and then he's confronted by Donkey Kruger. This is where they mention the whole thing with him knowing the Key Rangers, and then, of course, decoding this book, and then of course, he's taken out by, well, then of course we have the grunts from the previous series pop up here. This actually is not, we ever think Ghost Stage first time. So in episode 3 we have Henders, Zoes, Bauer Soldiers, Weaponers, Zombies, Gummans, Clothes, Hurricane, and Meebos. Which series these come from? The Headers came from Changeman. The Zolos came from 5-Man. Bao Soldiers came from O-Ranger. The Wampers, Car Ranger, yes. That's where these things came from, and these probably did pop up briefly on Turbo. Which, by the way, this is, believe it or not, this miniseries was this Grunt's final ever appearance. Yes. First time they appeared since the Ghost Ship movie. The Bauer Soldiers, which are from O-Ranger. Do they ever return after this miniseries wraps up? They do. In 2 movies. Of course, they always pop up in King Arthur in Space, and they pop up in the Zenkai movie. Zoes, they do return after this. Yes. I think this was the first time they appeared since... So... And this is actual... The last time they appeared prior to this was actually in the Ghost movie for Gokaiger. At this, they pop up in Gozuger. Very recently, these guys actually returned. The Hinderers, which, yeah, I think they also did appear in that Ghost movie. Yeah, they appear in the Ghost movie, and they appear here in episode 3. And then next time they appear is actually episode 34 of Gozuger. the zombies, which are from Magi Ranger here. Which, after this miniseries, well, this was first on like his other ones. They did previously appear in Ghost Ship and the 199 Battle. After this, they appear in 2 movies, one for Zenkai and the one for Gozuger, and that's pretty much it for them. So they appear in 2 movies, and that's it. The Golem Soldiers from Gokaiger. Not surprising, they're here. So, this actually is the first time they appeared since Q-Ranger versus Space Squad. That was the last time they appeared. They did also return for Go Bosses versus Gokaiger. After this, they appeared in 2 movies for Zenkaiger. They appeared in the Gozuger movie, and they appeared in episode 46 of Gozuger. The Clothes, which are from Tokuger. Great grunts. Tokuger is one of my favorite shows, and it's a show I really wish was adapted for Power Rangers. I really wish it was, but it hasn't. So, after this, they do appear in a flashback in Boom Manger. Of course, they appear next in the Zenkaiju movie. Well, a Zenkaiju movie. And they appear in Gozuger movie, and that was it. Then we have the Courage, the Hekaraj, who are from Ninjanger, who didn't really appear very much. On Ninjanger. So actually, this miniseries was the first time they appeared since the Ninjanger movie. And this would be their final appearance. What about the ones appearing on? That was a different version of the group. That was their replacements who appeared on Gozuger. Meebos. They're from Zooger, which, first time they appeared since Zooger wrapped up. And after this, they appeared in a Zenkai movie, and that was it for them. So, this is where Dog Kruger's written out of the series while battling them. He, of course, gives his license and handcuffs to, I believe it was Kaguya, and gives it to Stinger, which when they decode it, they reveal what exactly Ria's plan is. Because the whole thing is like granting wishes, and Kendra basically stepped out because he wanted world peace. That could be achieved another way. Though in the case of Yamato, he wanted to help some kid go to the safari, which is quite nice of him. Kagura wants to make her family happy by creating a menu everyone loves. So, what exactly is Ria's plan? She wants to revive Ultimate Die Satan, the main villain of Zooger. And in the case of Marvelous, like, oh, I've heard of him. Probably from Geki Silver. Yes, because I'm sure probably that he's probably mentioned him a few times. So, yes, that is the ultimate plan, to revive the only villain to be killed off in Zoo Range. The only guy killed off. Like, why in the world they want to break this one guy who say he can wipe out a whole universe? Like, that is obviously rewriting basically how he was picking the show, because he was just an evil character who was like the Witch's true boss. And I'm like, when in the world did they run like this? It's almost like, by the way, he actually has a full body now, not a freaking head when he gets revived. And I'm like, wait, when did he get a full body? Because when anybody saw him in Zoo Ranger, he was always picked as a head. He never had a full body. And so, then of course he gets revived in episode 4, which of course they bring out more grunts from previous series. Yes, they bring in the Jammers. I'll do the whole thing Goose Tag a bit. So, they bring in the Jammers from Live Man, and this would not be their final appearance. Oh no. Like the case of a lot of air grunts, the last appearance was in Ghost Ship for Gokaiger. They appear a couple times in Gosuger, and that was it. The Udalars from Turbo Range, yes, because we have Turbo Ranger characters off screen. This will be this will be not their final appearance. They will return in Gozuger for a couple episodes. The Battle Settlers from 5-Man. Yeah, I love the look of these guys' suits. It's awesome. So, yeah, return of these guys since, like, pretty much a lot of these grunts, they pretty much appeared in Flying Ghost Ship, because after this, they appeared in Gozuger for a couple episodes. Then there's the Grenham Soldiers from Jetman, because why not? And they would actually make one appearance after this, just one. In episode 34, Gozuger, we have the Cataparos from Die Ranger. Yes, they appear here. Which, these guys will return a few times after this. Yes, they return next in the Zenkaijin movie and a couple episodes of Gozuger. And that's it. The Dorodaros from Kaka Ranger. They, of course, believe it or not, would actually return for 2 Sentai movies. Obviously, Kaka Ranger Act 3 Middle Age Struggles. And then they appeared for the Ghost movie and a couple episodes of Ghosager. The Yonauts from Gigaman. Yes, they returned here, which, yes, they briefly appeared in Lost Galaxy. So, they actually returned in King Ultra in Space. Yeah, their appearance was completely random. And then they returned over in Gozuger, and that's been it for them recently. The Ogarts from Gal Ranger. So, they would also return to Zenkaiger and Gozuger for a couple episodes. The Macabra from Hurricaneger. They will return in 2 Zenkaiju movies. The Hurricane 20th Anniversary, which, no surprise there, they will return there. Surprisingly, they did not appear in the Gokaiger movie. Ghost Ship. No, their previous appearance actually was in a Hyper Battle video. You're like, really? Yes, but they will return for 10 years later for Hurricaneger, 20 years later, and of course also Gozuger and the movie Gozuger and 1 episode of the show. The androids from Deca Ranger. So, they would appear in the Zenkaigen movie, the 20th version of Deca Ranger, because of course they would appear there. King Under in Space, and their most recent appearance actually was in the Gozuger solo movie. The Curses from Bokenger, one of 2 grunt teams they actually had there. They will return in Gozuger after this. The Ugats from Goanger. They would later appear in the Zenkaiju movie and the Gozuger movie, and that's been it for them. The BBs from Ghosager, which these were like recurring grunts for the show. They return in 2 movies after this, and that's it for them. And finally, the Invaders from Q Ranger. And they're actually the only ones who appear fairly recently. Yes, as in the most recent show. Because after, actually 2 shows, after this they appear in 2 movies. So the last time they were seen was in episode 33 of Q Ranger. You're like, really? Yeah, and then they return for 2 Zenkaiju movies, and that's been it. So, there you have the whole thing of what the heck the Gusak is. He's a sentient armor who takes people hostage. Because, of course, find this out when he fights him first time, it's actually Aka Ninjanger under the mask, and then they fight again, and it's actually Stinger. But it actually turns out the first time we see it was actually Luca. Yes, she returns here after appearing in Q Ranger vs. Space Squad, which she will return after this in the 10 years later movie for Gokaiger. Amazing movie, by the way. Yes. And that'll be her final appearance to date. Yes. Yeah, Marvel's briefly takes control of it, and then finds everybody, and then frees them, and then of course, then they break the barrier by having Luca destroy the thing, making the barrier was like this tree with this magical barrier surrounding, and after shooting it multiple times, he breaks it, and the barrier broken. Then the Marvel says just press buttons on his Gokai phone. It's like summon Gokai Galleon to ram Ultimate Dice Satan, and by the way, does not transform into Gokai Megazord. I'm like, what? They ran out of budget for this miniseries? They couldn't have a mech battle here. So then they use a version of the ball from Go Ranger, basically this energy ball, which then after everybody hits, and of course there's special super modes they have here, and they use that to destroy Ultimate Dice Satan. Okay, and then presumably whoever remained, because everybody who lost got teleported off the planet. So, and of course Yamato gets a wish. But in the case the actor who plays Yamato, I think this was his last official appearance to date. Now, as for the team itself, of course Marvelous will return for the 10th anniversary movie for Gokaiger, and he will also return for the anniversary discussion movie for, well, the most recent series, and of course King Andre in Space. He returned a few times after this, but not a lot. In the case of Zao Eagle, he appeared in one movie. Yes, believe it or not, he appeared in a single movie after this. Yeah, he appeared in stuff for Zenkaiger, but the actor didn't return. Oh no, he did not return. Episode 4, I think, was his last appearance to date as Zao Eagle. Yes, definitely that was his last known time playing. Now, you're probably asking, did he actually use all of his modes? The only one he did not use was Zao Condor, because, well, the other guy wasn't, so he can use it, but he did use pretty much Eagle, Gorilla, and Whale, so there was that. Aka Ninjanger, he himself, well, he returned for a Zenkaiger movie, and that'll be it. Stinger himself, this would be his final ever appearance to date. It's a shame. He's a good, cool character. It's a shame the actor has not returned after this. He will later pop up in Kamen Rider Gav as a completely different character. Well, actually, no. He will return in a spin-off movie for, I kid you not, Kira Major as a completely separate character. And Kagura, this will be also the last time she would ever seen, though chronologically she would later seen in the 10 years later movie, and that was it for her, sadly. And a lot of everybody else played this movie, with the exception of a few, this would be their final appearance, because like Go Ranger, that they themselves, they never return after this. Well, as far as I could tell, they don't. Excuse me. Just make a quick check here, because I don't think they return after this. Yeah, Aka Ranger, I think he himself returns for that Zenkaigen movie, but I think for pretty much everybody else who's on the roster, I think this was their last ever appearance. I think because maybe, well, they could return for that Boom Manja versus Gozu movie. It's possible, who knows? I saw this has been quite long, but there's a lot to discuss here with this particular miniseries. So then presumably Luca has picked up those. They do mention the whole thing with Gokai Silver. Now, I have seen this clip online of the characters being possessed by something and shooting up something. Like, I saw this on Facebook once. I thought it was miniseries, but apparently it's not, because the opening episode did not open up with that. They're just, well, yeah. Now, apparently there is a director's cut of this movie, this miniseries. Let's see. There's not much of any changes. It's probably just the 4 episodes edited together. Yeah. The miniseries itself was a lot of fun. Good fun for a lot of the characters who appear in it. But the next thing to watch, well, I still need to do my other anime tonight, so I'm sorry this has been an hour long, and I'm talking about 4 episodes, but there was a lot to... I apologize for the length, but there was a lot to discuss with this 4-episode miniseries. So, did I enjoy this? Oh yes, I did. I loved every bit of this thing. Yes, we do get, obviously, set up for Ryo Soldier comes right after this. That'll be next major Sentai watching, but next video for this series will be the next episode, Go Sager, and then it'll be Ryo Soldier. Well, I probably won't get to Ryo Soldier till maybe next week. That's presumably what's going to happen. But that will be my next Sentai I'll be watching. Yes. So, do I think basically like well, let's not mention that. So, yeah. Oh, one thing. Negatives about this miniseries. Number 1, no Zoo Rangers. None. No return for this. We don't see them at all. You would think Planet Nemesis, and of course having Ultimate Die Satan here, maybe they were planning to appear here, but maybe the actors were just unavailable. And you know the weird thing about the actors from the show? Only 3 returned. Really? Where? Well, Tyranno Ranger, he returned for the dinosaur movie for Kyroger. Where was, I think it was Kyroger Go Busters for return. He returned for that movie. Barai, I think his name is one who was actually Dragon Ranger. He did return for Gokaiger, and also, well, he returned in an episode because he was dead, because they had him pop up there. But they also had a return of basically Mammoth Ranger, the Black Ranger of the team. He returned also for Gokaiger too. But as the rest of the team, nope, never did. None of them did. Their suits did, obviously, but the actors, no, they never did. Sad. But I kind of wish they were here, because that would have been interesting to see. They'd be like, because I think they should have been involved in this. And I have heard the whole thing with, I read apparently Rita herself, the character Rita, is named after the Power Rangers character. And, oh, they do mention the previous Guardian was killed by her. And the reason why she did the whole tournament and bringing back Die Satan is because what happened to her home planet. So because she had a bad childhood, she wanted to ruin the universe because of it. Yeah, and why the heck did it have to be Die Satan be like a universe killer? That made no freaking sense at all. Yeah. The positives, I love the continuity nods that Dog Cougar did with a couple of the Rangers. And I love the fact that Marvelous, in the case of him and Yamato, at least they do reference when they met. Good on basically the show for doing this miniseries doing that. But one that really was questionable, like, how the heck did these two forget the fact they met each other? Kaguya and the one who's, it was Kaguya and Takaru. Yeah, These two have met before in Ninja versus Tokuger. They have met there. But yet, in this mini-series, they completely forgot they met each other before. I'm glad the whole thing with Yamato Marvelous was referenced, because that would be kind of stupid. And the whole thing with Gal Ranger, like, the whole thing with Zell Eagle, that they could have, like, a bit long conversation, like, the whole thing with Val Shark, like I mentioned. Oh, yeah, actually, there was a Shark on my team, too. In the case of the Red Ranger, you could mention that, oh, there was Eagle on my team too. Like, they could have referenced these other characters, but they just didn't. I don't know why. I do appreciate the conversation that Yamato and, what is his name here? Kikaru, aka Gal Red. Yes, I love the conversation they had. And he points out to him that he is a very good Red Ranger. I thought that was great, great lines to give. I thought the dialogue here was also really good too. Yes, dialogue was fantastic, though it had some hiccups. And also, like I mentioned, the fight between Kaguya and Cougar was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But let's end it here, because I've been talking for almost an hour about this thing. So that's pretty much a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and notifications. Next up is Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling. Okay, next video. Bye.